So how do you deal with those difficult, mean people on webinars, Skype and Zoom, those hard questions, those venomous questions? We're going to talk about that today. Welcome to Maximize Your Influence. I'm Kurt Mortensen. Just finished a podcast on how to be more engaging on webinars and Skype and Zoom and online because it's difficult. I'll just put it that way. It is hard because people are dinking on their phones or talking to other people, they're pausing, all these different things tend to happen. So if you want to know more about being engaging and more persuasive on webinars and online meetings, go to MaximizeYourInfluence.com, check out that podcast. Hit like, hit subscribe, that's always nice if you appreciate the information. And of course, if you want the free book, Maximum Influence, go to MaximizeYourInfluence.com and take your Persuasion IQ assessment. So let's get into it. Let's talk about dealing with those difficult, mean, venomous, or even hard questions online, because what happens is people tend to jab more online. They can't see you, you can't hit them, so they jab, they're mean, they're anonymous. And so first thing you gotta do is check out the provider that you're using, because sometimes these are coming via chat, sometimes you can mute people, sometimes you can't. It depends on the system, what you're working with. So that's the very first thing. So let's go over a few things you can do when you get that difficult, mean, venomous, angry, ornery question. Here's the first one. Manage expectations. Up front, before you get started, as you get started, say, look, we're taking questions, we're not taking questions. Or your producer or somebody you know is taking all the questions and putting them together and deciding which ones are the most popular, the most important. You got to manage it up front. If you're not going to take questions throughout, if you're not going to have a chat pod or whatever it is that you're using, you've got to set that tone right up front. Otherwise, you're going to get people jabbing, interrupting, doing different things. Let people know it's 20 minutes. I'll take questions at the end. Whatever you're doing, manage those expectations up front. That's number one. Number two, dumb is smart. Don't show them how smart you are, because that gets a lot more resistance, a lot more angry questions. This is counterintuitive for a lot of people. But the thing is that, well, can you repeat that? Can you rephrase that? Can you think that through? I don't get it. I don't understand. Can you help me understand? Because what happens is, let's just go through these 4 R's here. Have them repeat it, then you rephrase it, they rethink it, then they retreat because they realize it was a dumb question, it was a mean question, it was something out of the blue, they were just jabbing at you. When dumb is smart, just back it up and think, okay, well, help me understand. I don't quite understand. Even if you do, get some little time to rethink it and to retreat. Number 3, use your audience. If the dumb question comes at you, a mean question, a lame question, say, hey, audience, you want me to handle this? You want me to go on that tangent? We don't have a lot of time. Get the votes. And they'll usually say, no, we don't want to do it. Use your audience, because you can jab, you can be mean back, you can heckle back, you can use profanity back, whatever it is, but then it just takes you down as a presenter. For example, I was teaching this webinar, and it was about 3 or 4 hour webinar, a couple hundred people on the line, and they were allowed to mute and unmute as they because they paid for this. It was a fulfillment type of a webinar. This lady kept coming in and jabbing and jabbing and jabbing, and I was dealing with it, and finally she came and said, Kurt, I speak for the whole group. When you're way off course, you should be talking about this, this, and this. And she'd been mean the whole time, and of course I wanted to jab back, be mean back, and I just said, okay, group, what do you think? And it was awesome. They called her the B word. They told her to hang up. They told her she was a mean person, and she did. I didn't have to say it. They said what I was thinking, for the most part. But they said it. So when your audience says it, it's okay, so use your audience. And final one, number 4, social pressure. You have to let that person know that what they're thinking, what they're doing is the minority, not the majority. And that's done with the poll or with the survey. Put it up there and say, all right, this is what people are thinking, this is what they're doing. Because they think they're speaking for everyone. They think everyone's mad. They think everyone's having a bad day, and so they jab accordingly. They're mean accordingly. For example, this one person was all upset that they were getting shut down about having healthy snacks. And of course, the person that they were trying to persuade thought nobody wants healthy snacks. Everybody eats Snickers and Twinkies. That's just how it is. But they took an internal poll. 88% of the people wanted healthy snacks. Done and done. Majority social pressure, social validation. It's one of the 12 laws of persuasion and in the Maximum Influence. Check it out. So you're going to get these things. Stay in control. Don't let it get to you. There are mean people out there. They're going to, what they say to you is what they're feeling on the inside. Just roll with it. Follow these steps. stay in more control during your webinars and persuade with power.